For those people who are looking at the situation, the Muslimin around us, and say there is no hope for this ummah is destroyed, there is no hope for it. Those who look at the situation of Islam and Muslims and the countries of Islam and Muslims being eaten up by other people. But Allah, I will tell you, every single person that has made an effect in this dunya was not a really great man before they became great. They were not particularly talented, not particularly educated, not particularly eloquent. They didn't need the permission of everybody. They didn't have the help of everyone as well. But Allah, they had one thing and one thing only, and that was a deep burning desire to achieve something. One day the Prophet ﷺ stood up in the depths of the night. It is authentically reported in Al-Bukhari that he raised his hands up to the heavens and he said, "Oh Allah, my ummah, my ummah. Ya Allah, my ummah, my ummah. Ya Allah, my ummah, my ummah." He couldn't say more than that. He couldn't finish his sentences because he was so emotional. Until the night passed and the last third of the night came, until Fajr time came. And at that point, Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam came down and said, Ya Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, Allah has sent me and said, Ya Muhammad, your Lord will not disappoint you regarding your ummah. Your Lord will not disappoint you regarding your ummah. The question is, brothers and sisters in Islam, are we going to disappoint our Prophet ﷺ? Are we going to disappoint our Prophet ﷺ? Allah has promised our Prophet, He will not disappoint him regarding our ummah. The question is us. Are we going to otherwise not fulfill the promise of Allah and be a disappointment for our Prophet ﷺ? Be you of those people who fulfill his vision. Remember, by Allah, the Prophet ﷺ was a very positive person. Be very positive about yourself. Be very positive that you can make a change. Be very positive that you will have an effect in changing the ummah. Every single time, the believers in the Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ were being negative, the Prophet was positive. Every single time. When Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam was in the bottom of the well, in his greatest moment of despair, there came upon him an angel by the name of Jibreel, who told him that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him the following thing: لَتُنَبِّئَنَّهُمْ بِأَمْرِهِمْ هَذَا وَهُمْ لَا يَشْعُرُونَ. Verily, O Yusuf, a day will come when you will tell them about what they have done, and by Allah, they will not even know that it is you telling them. And this is the positivity of Islam. When the mother of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam was despairing, what did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tell her? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told her, throw Musa into the river. Indeed, my enemy will grab him. And then by Allah, out of Allah's mercy, in some way or the other, Allah will return Musa back to his mother so that she does not despair. Positivity in the eyes of negativity. When the people stood there and said, we're going to throw this little boy by the name of Ibrahim into this huge fire, what did Ibrahim say? Hasbunallahu ni'mal wakeel. Ibn Abbas said, this was said by three people. The first person who said it was Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam. When the people all gathered together, built a huge fire to throw Ibrahim in there, what did he say? Positivity in the eyes of tremendous negativity. Hasbunallahu ni'mal wakeel. Allah is our protector, and enough is He a protector over us. For those people who are being harmed, who are being hurt by your families and by your situation now. But Allah, remember the situation, Imam Ahmed rahimahullah, and remember that he was also harmed and hurt for years and years. He was lashed until his arms were out of his sockets, yet he never gave up being upon the truth. For those who look at the situation of Islam and Muslims and the countries of Islam and Muslims being eaten up by other people, but Allah, never despair. Let me tell you what Ibn Kathir says in his Bidaya and Nihaya, and I recite to you the following. He says, 1,000,000 crusaders entered into Bayt al-Maqdis and they did with it what animals do in the forest, and they perpetrated that which even the shaitans do not do. In 1 week, they killed 60,000 people. From them, the scholars, the worshippers, the imams of masajid, and the ascetics. They put up the cross over Bayt al-Maqdis. They brought into Bayt al-Maqdis the pigs and replaced the adhan with the callings of disbelief and shirk. And people cried and they cried and they cried, and they thought that Bayt al-Maqdis would never ever return to the control of Islam and Muslims, and that there will never be an end to this trial and tribulation of the people of Islam. So the disgrace upon the believers continued until Allah raised from this ummah a hero who planted the love for the blood of struggling in the path of Allah flow through the veins, and he planted the spirit of struggle and valor in the souls, and he destroyed the pessimism that had unsheathed the hearts. So there stood the man by the name of Salahuddin, and he called out from A'maq and Jadana. He said, "Oh, woe to Islam." On that cry, the heroes from the army of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam stood up until they met the Crusaders, and they killed 30,000 of them, and they opened up Al-Quds, and they purified the sacred lands from the evil ones. Their victory continued until the Crusaders had no option but to pay the jizya from a lowly hand, after the Crusaders had been the commanders in authority in power for 91 years. My brothers and my sisters in Islam, those who are despairing about the situation of the ummah, by Allah, it could be we are on that 90th year. We could be on the 90th year, the year before Allah gives this ummah victory. You know what? It could be Allah laughing at this ummah because His mercy is just about to come. Never despair of the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
The news of the General Assembly's decision to upgrade the Palestinians' UN status was the cue for wild celebrations across the West Bank and Gaza. In Ramallah, thousands hit the streets for a frenzy of flag waving and fireworks. Many in the crowd expressed their delight at the UN's decision and their pride in President Mahmoud Abbas following his speech.
Every day we tell each other that this day will be the last, and tomorrow we all can go home free, and all this will finally end. Palestine, tomorrow will be free. Palestine, tomorrow will be free.